What do we have in the box today to celebrate 100 figures? This is where we need the kiss confetti. Confetti, rock and roll all night, party every day.
What a piece of junk.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys in the Attic. I'm your host Vic, and today we are celebrating with our 100th Black Series figure. Ever since the world closed down and everything was shut down, I needed a hobby. They took away all my favorite things. No more sporting events, no more concerts, no more movies, no more beach, no more pools. I could even swim with it. So I started collecting Black Series to give myself something to do, and today, 100 figures. Now, asterisk, it's not technically the 100th, but I'm not counting all the doubles, all the multiples of troopers, stormtroopers, snow troopers, purge troopers, rebel Hoth soldiers. This is just actual single figures, and today is 100. But before we get started on that, I want to give another shout out to Eden's Edge Tattoos in Dunedin, Florida. If you're anywhere in the Tampa Bay area, go check these guys out. They're amazing artists. A shout out to Alex, Ryan, and Faith. They're tatting me up. I'm looking good. They're doing great work down there. Alex, keep up the progress. It's been fun watching you learn, and it's been fun watching you get better. So Eden's Edge Tattoos in Dunedin, go check them out. Before I get started with the 100th figure that I've gotten, I want to go back in time a little and explain to you how I got started in this Black Series to begin with. So what I have here is the first 3 Black Series figures I ever got. In 2015, my buddy Carl, and Carl, if you're watching, you got me hooked. Anyway, my buddy Carl, who was a guy I used to go and watch all the Star Wars movies, Marvel movies, Planet of the Apes, anything sci-fi related, him and I went to the theater and we talked a lot about Star Wars, and he's a collector of Legos, Star Wars Legos, and the Star Wars lightsabers. So at that time, I wasn't collecting toys, but I was collecting hard media, such as books, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, and the such. And he was desperately trying to get me to collect Star Wars toys, as he knew that I had boxes and boxes and boxes of Star Wars toys in the garage collecting dust, and he wanted to get me back into collecting. So what he did was every year for Christmas, for 3 years, starting in 2015, he would buy me a Black Series figure. Now, Carl, if you would have bought me figures I liked, then I probably would have got hooked back in 2015, but instead, he has a weird sense of humor and he bought me all the characters that I hated. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. The first figure I got in 2015 was this one here, number 3, Kylo Ren. Some people like Kylo Ren. When I saw the trailer for the very first time, I saw that helmet and I heard that voice.
I want that map.
I was like, ooh, I'm gonna like this Kylo Ren. And that blast effect where he stopped it in mid-flight, that was probably the coolest scene in The Force Awakens. But then he killed my hero, Han Solo. From that point, they wanted me to hate this character, and I did. I can never forgive you what you did to your father.
Forgive me.
And so he thought it'd be funny if he got me a Kylo Ren. So I got this for Christmas 2015. This was my very first Black Series figure. Now the very next year for Christmas, he decided he would do it again. He gave me another Black Series figure, another character I disliked very much. That character would be number 20, Ahsoka Tano. Now, before everybody freaks out and starts writing all these comments about how great Ahsoka was, let me explain. Me and my son went and saw The Clone Wars, the movie, in the theater back in 2008. The movie was okay, nothing memorable for me anyway. I do like how they fixed Anakin Skywalker and made him pretty cool.
That's better.
But what I didn't like about the movie was the little girl, Ahsoka Tano.
Ahsoka!
I couldn't get over the whole, hey Sky Guy, hey Snips.
You're stuck with me, Sky Guy.
Don't get snippy with me, little one.
Then when the Clone Wars series came out, she was still the little girl, and it was really rough for me to watch season 1 and 2. I kind of bailed out on the Clone Wars. Carl tried to get me to watch the Clone Wars, and I wouldn't do it. He finally got me to, and I did see seasons 4, 5, and 6, which redeemed Ahsoka for me. So a little less talk and a little more opening. But it wasn't until the show Rebels and probably season 7 of the Clone Wars where I really liked this character. So it turned around for me, but at the time that I got this, I was not an Ahsoka fan, nor a Kylo fan. This is the original and not the new one that just came out with the updated face painting. I figured I didn't really need that. I already had this one. I opted out of the Ahsoka that came with the Clone Wars. As a newer collector, I wanted to get some newer figures before I had 3 Ahsokas on the shelf. So I have one. It took me all this time, 2016, that's when I got this, to break her out, because I didn't know this one was part of the Rebels crew, and I've got the whole Rebels crew sitting at home on a shelf. They look great, and now I'm going to add Ahsoka to that. Carl, nice hindsight on that. So there she is, Ahsoka Tano, number 20, Black Series. Looking forward to putting her on the shelf. This is the one I got in 2017, right after we watched The Last Jedi. So, I don't know how many good characters were in that one. This bag should be filled. But this is the one that I got, number 46, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker. Worst character in The Last Jedi. I love Luke Skywalker, the original Luke Skywalker. This guy, this crabby old crusty man who didn't want anything to do with the Force. This to me was not Luke Skywalker. I don't really even want to open it, but I'm going to open it so we can take a look at it, but I'm probably not going to put it on my shelf because it just saddens me. Capes and cloaks. Wouldn't be Star Wars without them. So here he is, Luke Skywalker. He takes on the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi in this one, just very poorly. There he is. I don't know what to do with this guy. I don't think that I'll be putting him out on display. It doesn't come with any accessories or a smile. There we are. Jedi Master Luke, Ahsoka Tano, Kylo Ren, 3 of my least favorite characters of that time period, and they are now immortalized forever in my collection. But I didn't really start collecting the Black Series until the pandemic hit. So at the time of the pandemic, I had these 3 figures plus a stormtrooper that my daughter gave me, and I found a Director Krennic at Five Below, and I figured for $5 I'm gonna break this guy out, because up until that point I was an inbox collector, mint inbox collector, mint on card collector, but I wanted to enjoy Director Krennic. I wanted something just to put in the room to make it feel Star Warsy, and I thought it would be cool if we hit 100 subscribers before I hit 100 figures. But 100 figures in a year? I was moving, people. I was moving. Thanks, Carl, for the figures and the addiction. You're an enabler. What do we have in the box today to celebrate 100 figures? This is where we need the kiss confetti. Confetti, rock and roll all night, party every day. For everybody who complains, I don't know where you're living, but I always get all this nice packaging and mint figures. And here we are. And this only makes sense that this is the 100th figure to go with figure number 2 that I received. And this is the 332nd Ahsoka Clone Trooper from the Clone Wars. And this is number 3 with some nice artwork here. And I'm going to tell you, folks, this was a pain to get. First, I got delayed 3 times when I originally ordered it the day they were put on Walmart.com. I never saw a single one of these in any of the 10 Walmarts that are in the surrounding area. Then they canceled my order. Then I was told I could order when it came back in stock, which I did, only for them to tell me again that they were sold out. And they did that to me 3 times in a single day. Finally, at 11 o'clock at night, I was able to get an order through. And after months and months and months, the day I ordered it, it was here in a day. Crazy to me, crazy. But I finally got one. Some of you got 8, some of you got 12. I see you out there hoarding them up. Your army building. I just wanted the one, and it took me forever to get it. But here it is, and I'm happy to have it. The Ahsoka Trooper, and he's not like any of those old crummy clone commanders. This guy is solid, and I dig him. He's on the new mold, nice paint applications. Some of you are like, blah, 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 blah. You know what? He looks good to me. I don't have my glasses on. Maybe that's why. Oh yeah, he is terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I like this one. This one's cool. See, Carl, if you would have started me off with some troopers, man, I'd be opening up 300 today. 300 today. But we're only doing 100. And here he is, my 100th Black Series figure, the 332nd Ahsoka's Trooper. Round of applause. 100. Glad to be here. Gonna do another 100. Maybe a couple hundred. I'm gonna be so broke. What do we got here? Oh, it's a bill from Hasbro. Well, we'll pay that later. Next up, treats from the satchel. What do you think, folks? Should I put old crummy Luke Skywalker on the shelf? I don't know. Thinking he's going back in the box and back into storage. Now, what do we have in store for us today? I think I'm going to try to go down to the bottom of the bag. This is kind of like a box of French fries. All the big stuff got shuffled to the top while all the good stuff is at the bottom. There we go. I got a handful now. I'm stuck, folks. Can't get my hand out. Oh boy. Oh boy. First up, we have Phil from Hercules, played by Danny DeVito. Looks just like him. Everybody can see that. Phil. What a great character name. Phil, do you stand? Where'd this come from? I'm calling these people up. Anyway, I'm sure this is some crummy Happy Meal toy. Next up, a Burger King toy. This is from Pokemon, and this is Diglett. Diglett, ladies and gentlemen. And I can't imagine, woo, almost lost Diglett. I don't know what he does. I don't remember this. This one says it's from 1987. How did this get in your bag? There was no way you were even around. You weren't even alive. But I was in high school. Was I getting Happy Meal toys? Oh, I do remember this. I got a whole set of these at the house. So this is a Transformer. It's French fries that turns into a robot. He's got to be one of the good guys because, you know, who's scared of French fries? Oh, I'm going to do... Man, you're making a lot of noise over there, R2. R2 is squeaky. Somebody oil up R2. This one I'm gonna do is a 2-pack here. I remember purchasing these for my son, Crispus, 1994. And I was happy to do it. I was not a Power Rangers fan. He was a Power Rangers fan. I believe this is Jason, the red one. And I was just so happy that they weren't paying any more attention to Barney that I would have bought 1,000,000 of these things if I didn't have to see that big purple thing in my house ever again. Whoa. And this one, we called him Bluey, but I believe his name is Billy. They both have some kind of karate chop action. Let's do Bluey first. What do we got? Oh, hell, yo. That's pretty cool. 1994, Power Rangers Billy. Then we got Jason, the Red Ranger. What's he do? Oh, Jason doesn't work. Well, he is almost 30 years old now. Wow. 1994 was 90. Wow. 30 years. And they're still shiny. These are probably the original American ones. I think in Japan, Power Rangers was popular for far longer. This here from episode 1, Padawan, Obi-Wan Kenobi. We only have 13 of these. For some reason, we loved Obi-Wan. And the Emperor, what did this come from? 1997. Was this the free mail-away one? Looks like battery goes in this thing. And he looks like he has lightning hands. There's no way this thing works. You gotta be kidding me. Folks, you're not gonna believe this. 1997, that makes this thing 23 years old. The original battery is still inside. I don't know if this was a mail away. I'd have to look it up. I don't remember even getting this. There's no articulation on the legs. I think it had attachments for lightning. Mind you, the batteries are 23 years old. Talk about impressive, and talk about how Palpatine never dies. No wonder he came back in the Rise of Skywalker. You can't kill this guy off, 23 years old, same battery? That's insane. Very well done. Who made this? Hasbro. Well, why not? We're celebrating Hasbro today, and probably, what is this? These are Bandai's. Anyway, thank you for joining us on another edition of Toys in the Attic. 100 figures we're celebrating today. May the Force be with you always.
What a piece of junk.
Whoa!